Good evening, everyone. How are you feeling tonight? Yeah, so my name is Legran, and okay. So, like I was saying, my name is Legran, and when I said that to Siri, she called me LeBron because I feel like she's mocking me because I'm a black guy who's not very tall. I'm a PhD student in geology at Curtin University, so I'm a geologist. I love rocks. I'm literally obsessed with rocks. I was even stopped at the airport once for smuggling rocks. And you know what worse? I even leak rocks. So when you probably saw me coming here, you felt like, yeah, this guy doesn't look like a scientist. He's probably one of those cool Instagram model. He spent his night hanging out with Jay-Z and Beyonce courtside at NBA games. But instead of that, I spend most of my time in the basement looking at spreadsheets and leaking rocks. That is because I use data collecting for rocks to learn about Earth history. I study the evolution of rocks as they go beneath Earth's surface to emerge a couple of million years later, ready for some leaking party. So, yeah, I'm looking into Australia and the other continent merged together to form a supercontinent called Gondwana 500 million years ago. So, can you close your eyes for a second and visualize this big, massive land pushing and grinding against each other? That's what I meant to. I'm so into that grinding that every Saturday night I go to clubs at Northfish to see what this grinding look like in real life. Like, if Australia and India are dancing a tango together, in South America and Africa, they sing the salsa together, and whatever Antarctica is up to, because we don't care about Antarctica. When a supercontinent is formed, mountains are created, volcanoes are activated, and big juicy minerals are pushed toward the surface. Recently, I got to travel to Africa to hunt down a special type of rocks called eclogite. That will give us a clue about the formation and the destruction of a supercontinent. And this rock look like this, a boring piece of rock. If you are not a geologist, these rocks have literally no value to you because it's just a green rock. Now you're probably thinking that, yeah, this guy is just like a boring version of Indiana Jones, you know? Instead of going around the world and discovering ancient civilization or ancient temple, I just look at eclogite, a boring piece of rock. But we're in 2025 now. I feel like at the moment, I look way cooler than Harrison Ford. He's probably in his late 60s or 70s. So I'm studying eclogite, which is a metamorphic rock. I'm sure some of you back in your A-days during like middle school or high school, your teacher mentioned that, but let me refresh your memory a bit. A metamorphic rock just acts like middle-aged white men. So if you take some of you guys here and we put you guys in the beach at Cottesloe during those 45 degrees days without any sunscreen, we'll become red, just like this guy here. And if we take you and we travel to Europe and you put you in the Alps during the winter, you'll become pale, even blue or purple, just like this white walker here. Yeah, I'm a fan of Game of Thrones, so I'm a fan. So metamorphic rock just act the same way. So you have an original rock that gets very deep underground, pressure and temperature rises, so its mineral break down and recrystallize to form different minerals. So during this cycle of burial, our rocks just act like the white man at the beach who became red. So a couple million years later, the same rock can be brought back to the surface, temperature and pressure drop, and minerals start breaking down again and recrystallize to form different one. So our rocks is just, during this exhumation cycle, our rock just act like the white walker. So by tracking down this change of mineral composition across different locations, Australia, South America, or India, it can give you a clue about how the supercontinent formed. But some information are, some minerals are like wiped out, so you might miss some information. That's when you turn to accessory minerals. So, and accessory minerals are just minerals that are like in a very small quantity in your work, like less than 5%, and they just act like me, a black man, because they are very resistant to pressure and temperature. So if you take me and you put me in the Alps during winter, I'll just stay the same. I'll probably just need a winter coat. But if you take me and you put me in the beach in Perth during those 45 degrees day, I'll probably just take my shirt off. So by tracking down these by tracking down these accessory minerals across different continents, it gives you the exact details on how the supercontinent formed. For example, if Australia and India collided first and decided to jump Africa or South America after. So last year in July, we went to Africa with my 3 supervisors. No, what am I saying? So in my research team, we are like, in case you didn't know, I'm African and I'm working on Africa. Another one of my colleagues is Indian and is working on India. Another one is French and is working on Europe. I don't know, but it kind of feels weird to me. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this because we're in 2025. It looks like my supervisors are doing some kind of Russian profiling, you know? An African on Africa, an Indian on India, an European on Europe, and obviously they kept Australia for themselves. They didn't want to share. So last year, with my 3 supervisors, we traveled to Africa, more precisely to Zambia, to hunt down some eclogite. And my supervisors are 3 middle-aged white men. And for the first time in my life, I experienced what it feels like to be a white man in Africa. It was a completely different experience. So we just landed in Zambia. We are in the airport. A guy came up to me and he called me sir. He took my luggage and carried it to the car. I was very surprised because that never happened to me. Usually at the airport, they stop me, they ask me for visa. So now in my head, I was like, this is probably what it feels like to be Jay-Z or Jay-Z and Beyonce, really. I even called my mom to tell her about it. So we're supposed to be there to work. So we landed in Zambia, went to the hotel, and I was already checking, like, if we have a guide, what kind of car we're going to rent, checking the weather, where we should go to hunt some to collect some eclogite. But my supervisor were treating it like it was an holiday. We're already making plans to go to Livingstone to have like a safari at Victoria Falls. Or they even suggested that we should rent a boat and go on a boat tour on the Zambezi River to see some crocodiles and elephants. I was like, we are here to work, guys. And yeah, you even suggested that we go on a golf course to kick some balls. But you know, yeah. So we ended up doing all of those activities. And you know what the good part is? I didn't pay for anything because I was with them. So now currently I'm in the process of studying my red white minerals, my white walker minerals, and my black man minerals to understand how Africa moved when the supercontinent formed 500 million years ago. So next time we'll turn on your TV, you'll probably see me courtside at the NBA game, sitting next to Jay-Z and Beyonce, and licking some eclogite. Thank you so much. We're very good talk tonight. So if you want to learn more about my research and my life, just follow me on social media.